My name's Braxton Harrison. This is a Different Generations podcast. Today we're going to talk about how Rob and I are the picture of men's health and why Corey and Jason are fat.
Hold on. I have to agree with that. This is Rob and Braxton talking about men's health and how it benefits you and how these two fat tubs of shit will never be beneficial to anything.
So, Hill, since
talk about
we're
weight problems.
We're going to segue into some violence since Rob wants to be jokey on the show. You need to search SEC Network, Ben Watson wife. That'll probably bring it up. This is a great clip, by the way.
I can't wait to see it.
So a dude got way too comfortable and made a wife joke to Ben Watson.
That's something you just don't do.
It wasn't that bad of a joke. I mean, it would be a joke that I think that Braxton would make.
Was it like a G.I. Jane type joke where it wasn't really offensive and everybody's like, why'd you slap him?
No, it was just like
Let's
you
just see.
you would say something along the lines of, my wife texts me such and such, and Braxton says, that's not what your wife texts me.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I don't think you would take that much offense to it.
No, I wouldn't even care. Like, I
But
would move on.
if it was the other way around and, Braxton was talking about his sister texting him and you made the joke,
Oh, he gets upset.
it'd be like, that's not what you're...
Well,
So, did it come up?
SEC.
Go to videos. See if we can get a good clip of this, because it's great. It is greatness. The news can't even get this right. We just need some dude that edited it.
What?
Braxton's already upset. Twitter's going to be the
Braxton's
place
still
to
upset
find
because
this.
you talked about the possibility
Hey,
of making jokes
Jason.
about his sister.
Jason, I've seen... I was like, oh, shit.
since then, Jason, I'm an MMA fighter, so
This is...
Yeah, hear that, Conor McGregor? He said you're a bitch.
This is one thing. Braxton, you don't talk about his family, period. You can talk about him all day long.
that's
Well,
right.
I think you can talk about Brian. I think you
What
can
was
make
his
a
name?
Brian.
Ben
My
Watson.
dad can take it.
Yeah, his dad.
He's a dad.
Yeah, it'll be one of those clips if there's a video there. I don't know. I can't believe the news ruined this.
Well, they probably took it all down.
No. It's a great clip because what happens, something happens and then they go to commercial and then they come back from commercial and it's like, oh shit.
He was mad.
So it's like they're cutting out. You can't see what's going on.
Oh, there's like fist fight during the commercial.
Something happened and they come back and homies aren't
gas
there.
on.
You know what I mean? Like they had to go do.
It's not what your wife texted me.
What's his
Flipping
name?
over tables. Got it.
Yeah,
SEC.
but it's better than that.
This is awkward. Maybe this is it.
45-20. By the way, did you not get the memo on the suits? We all went dark today. You're like Easter service.
Y'all kind of leave me out. But man,
He
as
said
long
you got an Easter
as I get the text from my wife that says I look good.
Oh, really?
So send me the text, babe. Send me the text.
That's not the one she sent me. I'll just outdoors.
Commercial on live TV.
Keep going.
8-6.
Live TV.
A man on the toes. Welcome back to I'm not sure what happened to Peter Burns, or did you have him keep your wife's name out of his mouth?
Keep my wife's name out.
Burns his with that smart mouth.
He's mad. Look at him.
He's big mad. He's big mad.
Like,
That's not a bit.
yeah, it definitely wasn't a bit.
No, that was not a bit.
Because he just walked on the scene, after they already started. It's
Homeboy's
like,
still having an out-of-body experience off frame.
He's probably like,
oh my gosh.
look, pay me my contract. I'm not doing another one with him,
What
period.
the NFL presents on the middle right over there. I mean, his wife and him they have like 7 kids. Like he's really y'all don't know who Ben Watson is? Extremely Christian, extremely religious gentleman, family first guy. So yeah, you know,
5 kids. I feel.
I think he's got 7 now.
Oh man.
So anyways, he's
Saying a prayer for you
extremely.
Did he
today.
have
Ben
them all
Watson.
at the same time? They look all about the same age.
Well, they're probably like a year apart, like mine. Like
You know
they're
what?
Close.
That's a really good point. He might have had 5 at once.
Or had multiples.
Something, because those kids really are close together in age. But
Context is
Looks
key
like a
there.
couple
I mean, they
twins
might have
there.
not had that
Maybe
relationship.
Irish twins.
what do you mean?
Like what you just said. If I said that to Spoonie, he'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, well,
because it's probably in the grand scheme of things not a big deal. But it's like if they weren't really like that,
And they may hate each other. He'd be like, I fucking hated you.
he might have
anyways. Like, I've
known
been
that
putting
that
up
was
with your
going to rub him the
bullshit for
wrong
years.
way, and he's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this."
Let me just get up and handle this right now.
Yeah. It's like I've
Pretty
been
sure he
waiting for
did.
my opportunity.
Yeah.
It looks like
I don't think there was any question about he handled business.
homeboy's still at church trying to figure out what happened.
No, he's in the hospital. He ain't at church.
well, Rob's. That's why I was afraid to make a comment whenever Rob's like, "We're on speakerphone." I'm like, I got a joke, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Oh, I know you want to talk about him. There's a Liver King moment like that too, where the guy just asks
Yes.
a question. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
"Well, is it hard to be intimate because you're both so muscular?" He's like, "Don't ever talk about my wife again." Just wigs out like crazy.
I don't know who Liver King is. I never seen. I mean, I'm
You've
sure
never
I've
seen this guy? All right, so let's
Liver
talk
King.
a little bit about
Now,
what's happened
do
the
you
last
have
2
to have
weeks.
Sex in a certain position because you're so big, and sometimes fat guys have a problem. They have to go into a certain position because you're massive, right? So and also I don't know how well endowed you are, but like, what's the situation with your what?
This is a great
position? Do
question.
You have to go in a position, or are you guys?
This guy's
fully
canceled now. He's off the
flexible?
internet.
'Cause you're both very muscular.
Yeah.
Ethan Klein.
Here's the thing. Never talk about my wife in this context.
Liver King. You have to have sex.
He's a
He
huge
was
dude.
dead serious.
Hold on.
But I mean, that's
So-
the truth, though.
Well, it was a great question. He's like, you might have a small penis. You're a large guy.
But why was the guy relating him maybe having a small penis because he takes steroids, or is he
Well, this
relating?
was this was before. I mean, the only person calling him out for steroids was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's like, "There's no way this guy's that big."
Well,
Ethan was just saying, since you're that big, it must be. I'm a fat guy, but you're also big. It must be hard.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was malicious. I'm
it's,
just.
it's
a great question.
It got real serious though, real quick.
No. I want to know. Have y'all seen? He does the 4 Doors More Whores, trailer park thing, Loco.
I have no idea who you're
Fat
talking.
guy. Shit. Oh my God. It's I can't remember. No, it's not going to be YouTube. It's Loco. It's Loco.
That's Sohail's favorite Kyle Rittenhouse there that popped up.
just Google or fat guy Loco, Loco. He does a trailer park bit. And I couldn't tell if he was a guy or a girl the first time I seen it, but Gordo Loco. So Gordo Loco, time out. This guy,
This is a
That's a guy?
This
That's
is
a
a
guy.
man.
That's not a guy.
that's a man.
That's not.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
And his trailer park deal is hilarious. The one that I'm telling you about.
Is he in a trailer currently?
Yes, he got.
Come on, son.
So I don't know what Catfish Cooley,
I know Catfish. He's funny.
Ginger Billy.
I know
Yeah,
Ginger
Ginger
Billy.
Billy.
Who's the promoters that put them that paid them money and got all their content,
I don't
pushed
know.
their content? Well, you're not. You haven't watched a lot of their content. Then they made viral videos, and then a company came in
And bought it out.
didn't buy them out, like paid them a set amount
Yeah.
to make so much content on their not platform. They still got to make it on their platform, but they labeled it something. And so whoever this guy was sponsored by for a little while, they would put him out, and they had a fart machine or something. So they'd put this dude out on the street, and he would just fucking hit the button to make a fart, and he would say something in regards to, "Oh, excuse me," or whatever, as like hot girls walk by on a college campus. And so that was 90% of this dude's content, Gordo Loco. But he struggles with weight extremely bad, and I guess he lost his contract with whoever that company is. They no longer push his content to anyone. So what do you think he did?
I don't know. Started selling those deals. You can pay $20 to get people to shout you out.
Yeah, they all do that. Type in Gordo Loco OnlyFans.
Oh, well, hey.
I think Gordo Loco is
Hold on,
time
Italian
for nice guy.
Well, if we go to images, this will look. Has anyone ever paid OnlyFans $1?
Nope.
Nope.
I never have either, and never would.
Not going to.
But
Especially
I've got
dudes
some.
only. What?
Sky Bree. Do you know
No.
who Sky Bree is? I asked y'all that this morning.
I do. No, this ain't Gordo.
No.
Not
Who's that?
Gordo Loco has an
I'll tell you in just a
OnlyFans, and I don't know his new TikTok. He promotes it on there. I don't know how to get to it, but Do you know what his logo is?
No clue.
Breaking backs with this belly.
Oh,
Wow.
breaking backs with this belly.
Something along those lines.
Classy.
Setting this belly on backs.
So let's talk about OnlyFans and how crazy it is. So Sky Bree,
Bang Comedy, Bang Entertainment, or the ones that put all those dudes up
yes,
and
yes,
sent them on tours and stuff, try to make them stand-up comedians.
yes.
And they helped them make content. I mean, they did put people around them.
This girl right here,
Yeah, what about her?
she was a nobody, literally.
She's a nobody right now.
No, she's not a nobody right now. This girl makes $500,000 a month off her OnlyFans.
She has Adam 22 managing her.
Yeah,
I don't.
she is not.
I don't know who
nobody.
any of those people
I don't
are.
know who any of those people are.
So I sat this weekend and watched the Adam guy and her on a podcast, and it was a stream. I don't know what it was, but anyways, literally, I am blown away at how young these people are and how much money they're making just off of OnlyFans.
Like, who's
I
paying
mean,
it,
but
though?
look, but it's not.
We're talking about sex tapes
I don't
for
care.
$5-6 million.
Who cares?
It's, I mean, yeah, who
I mean,
cares? But I
look,
mean, you want to talk
500K
about
a month, like,
you want to talk about generational wealth? I
There's
mean,
no generational wealth in $500,000 or $600,000 a month for butthole pics.
I mean, if she reinvests it properly in your AT&T stocks, getting that $250 a month.
That I mean,
make
investing
$2.50
creates
a day.
generational wealth.
do
But
you think these people are being smart with this money or not?
I don't care if they're being smart with the money. One thing about a butthole pic or porn or whatever it is, okay? Once you've seen it, you just want to go see something else. It gets old. It gets stale.
It does.
And not that there's not a marketplace to put into, but the initial return's got to be extremely high.
Yeah, how many buttholes do you look at before they all look the same?
I don't know. You tell me. You act like you've never looked at porn. I mean,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't understand like where the people are that keep feeding into like the OnlyFans.
you don't understand the customers of OnlyFans.
No,
You
because
of
it's
all
free.
people.
There's porn on the internet for free everywhere.
Yeah.
No,
But they're not-
he's absolutely
That's
right.
all. I just don't understand
They're
why they
not-
pay for it.
They're not paying to look at a butthole. They're paying on the chat.
Oh, I've never even seen OnlyFans.
So she'll see what you're requesting and she'll do it.
Oh.
That's what
No,
they're
it
paying.
ain't that. They literally say hello, and she says hi back.
Oh,
Or they ask her
So
to
they
do
feel like
certain
they're part of
But
things.
she doesn't fulfill that request.
they're
No,
but they
no,
feel like
I
they're part of her
disagree.
life now.
I
They're
would say,
they're
I
paying
would say
for
like
access. I get it.
75% of the time they don't, but it's that girlfriend experience, it's that attention.
I get
But
it.
then there are some that actually fulfill the request.
So these dudes are just simps that are out there.
Look. The
But,
waitress.
what Corey's saying is right. Like, and what
Sohill.
Sohill is saying is right. But some people are getting on there
Time out,
for
time
the
out.
anticipation that they will do what they
No,
request.
time out. Listen,
I'm just
the
telling you.
bartender down at Chili's will
Okay.
fulfill the request.
Yeah.
For all $7, and she'll make $2,000 or $3,000 a month. It will replace her income, and whatever weird guys that come into Chili's that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Subscribe. She's got a top of funnel there that she can. New customers, her regulars, you know what I mean? It's a subscription service. So used to when you're a regular at Chili's and the bartender, you'd have to go in there every day for her to make tip money off of you. Now she can capture you in her funnel and have a subscription service and sell you something every single day. And it feels good and normal. But if they make $10,000 a month off of that, good for them, $120,000 a year, but eventually you're not going to want to do that anymore. I mean, at what point you're just like, I don't want to talk to creepy men. It's not scalable. You're not going to get an extra vagina anytime soon. You get what I mean? If you're calling in your friends and everything else, I
feel like I would pay to see just somebody with two vaginas.
I think I would pay.
What
for
do I-
for
what-
that
you get what
just
I'm
to
saying?
see it
That-
for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
as a business model, you can push into the marketplace. There's 8 billion people. And if you got all 8 billion to subscribe, good. But the amount of subscribers you're going to get in a normal business model is going to be small. And as soon as somebody else is hot and you're not, boom, it's gone.
Okay, so all right. So you're saying Sky Bree? She's saying she's making $500,000 a month for the last 12 months.
There's plenty of how many people do you think on the platform make $500,000 a month? Is it 100?
I have
Probably.
no clue.
Is it
gotta be.
1,000? Is it 10,000? But I mean, it's a shifting dynamic. Used to, you had to go into like a creepy casting couch and do all that weird stuff, and then you would go into the porn business. And Jenna Jameson is a name that you know. You know
Sure.
Jenna Jameson?
Of course.
She, revolutionized the porn industry.
Right, but how many Jenna Jamesons are there? How many other people can you name?
Probably 5 from that generation.
And the only reason why I know her name is she dated Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Married.
Married Tito Ortiz. Like, other than that,
Kids.
now think about the guys. You know one guy, he died. I think he's dead now.
Oh, I don't even know what his name is. But
Ron Jeremy.
No, Ron Jeremy. We all know Ron Jeremy.
the
We all know
dude whose picture gets sent around.
John Holmes. Yeah, him. He told me to Google him, and I would know who he was. And then I Googled him, and I was like, oh, yeah, I do know who he is, but I don't remember what his name is.
Yeah.
Mandingo. So you have, 5 guys in all of porn that people know their name, have name recognition.
Oh, you know one.
Do what?
We looked it up.
Who?
Jacob's truck.
Oh.
I don't know if that name will.
Oh, Mandingo?
No,
Who?
we looked him up in Jacob's truck, or you looked him up and started.
I don't
playing
remember
that.
what it was. I remember us doing that, but I don't remember what it was.
I
You're
don't
like,
know what it
look
was
at this
either.
weird
I think it was
shit."
Mandingo.
Oh,
There
no,
was
no,
a
no,
you know
no. I
national
know
news
who.
couple 2 years ago.
Never mind. Just skip it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we need to skip it.
Yeah, let's just
Wow.
skip it.
I don't know. It don't matter to me. Whoever it was, we looked it up. But there's a handful of people that get that sort of name recognition and what they had to go through to get there with the barriers to entry in the porn business was probably not a very friendly environment, right? It's probably pretty abusive.
But I think what OnlyFans has done has taken the power out of those creepy
Democratized.
They have.
casting couches.
They have.
And they've taken the power back into their own hands and said,
Yes.
look, you're going to pay me. If you want me on your film, you're going to pay me what I want, when I want, and how.
but you
Well,
see-
they're not ever going to go do that film. They're just going to do OnlyFans, and a percentage of them are going to get really good at it. But the ones that make the most money, the absolute most money, homegirl that was on Dr. Phil,
Yeah.
she doesn't have a nude on her OnlyFans.
No.
She doesn't show a nipple. She doesn't show anything.
Well, the one
she
that-
made
Oh, you talking about a Catch Me Outside girl?
$27 million on chats. Now, Braxton, you talk to people all day. How could you possibly respond to $27 million worth of chats?
Don't think it's possible.
Oh, no, you hired a VA.
Yeah, she just got an army of VAs. Like,
They're like, thank you,
Hey, baby.
love. Appreciate you, daddy. Thank you, sweetheart. Whatever it is, over and over again. And these simps are lined up fucking just dropping dollars to
I
fucking...
can't even. I can't even imagine like spending that money but also like being okay with it. Like, what would your dad say if he's
she
like,
made
"You spent how much, son?"
50 million. She made 50 million.
Yeah.
50 million her first year on there.
What-
18 years old, $50 million. Now, scalable? No, not scalable. I actually think she's got the right team around her.
Oh,
for
how's
sure.
it not scalable if she's made $50 million? I mean,
They took her from a meme to what she is.
She went from on Dr. Phil being a little
To-
spoiled brat child to now making $50 million a year. And
But
she
what
doesn't-
else can you do?
What else can you do?
What does it matter? You got $50 million.
Look.
Well,
no,
that's what he's
no,
saying. It's
no.
like you have that.
You
but
have
how do you
50 million
scale that?
Scale it. Get it to $1 billion.
There's only so much market cap of
Get-
simps that want to look at the Catch Me Outside girl and try to interact with her. Like,
Get
it ain't
it-
you, it ain't me.
That's understood.
Get-
but
get it-
but
get-
a
get
smart,
it to-
a
get it-
smart person,
Get it
if-
to $1 billion a year.
$1 billion a year.
Get it to $1 billion a year worth of
I mean,
chats.
at as young as she is.
No, $1 billion a
Oh,
year.
you're talking about in chats.
I'm talking about
I'm talking about taking that money and reverting it into
that-
another
He's saying
vehicle.
that job.
that's the only way. The generational wealth that Spoon's talking about. You would, if you handed any one of us $50 million, we'd go park it somewhere and draw a dividend off of it and never think about it again.
Ever.
Ever.
Merchandise, brand deals, makeup.
none of us would even
Kylie
count it as
Jenner
income.
model.
We'd be
yeah, but see, that's exactly what he's talking about. She's got all these brand deals and all this
She
other stuff.
does. She
Bad
does.
Baby. That's her name.
Listen,
Bad baby, yeah.
yes, she does. I agree, 100%. Scale it. Scale butthole pics into $1 billion. You're missing the point.
Well, I guess whoever owns OnlyFans.
If she hired a SWAT team of women and was making a portion of all their revenue on her brand, that would be scaling it. Scaling butthole pics. We're talking about scaling butthole pics.
Butthole picks at scale.
Yes.
Well, I guess you could have a variety, and then that's. No, you're right. It's not scalable.
Nobody ever
Okay?
talks about butthole pics as scale.
Yeah.
It is, but I mean, it is scalable. It is to a degree, but you got to have a minion. You got to
For sure.
have a brand. And
All he's saying is she can't grow it organically with just her presence. It has to be a business built out.
I mean, no, I'm saying
But
that
that's in that OnlyFans platform is so that you're able to scale it.
it is scaled. It's scaled all the way out. So whenever it went to the marketplace, and I mean, bad example, but anybody here at this table paid money and was like, oh, that was good, and told their friend, and then it did its thing. Okay, now you've got to push it into $1 billion business. Why do you push it into $1 billion business doing the exact same things? Hire more VAs to have more chats, but eventually the marketplace is only so deep. There's
Right.
only so many men that are willing to pay for that.
What
And you've got to go into, now she's a rapper, and I guess a pretty decent rapper. I mean,
Depends on how you view your
I
art
think-
or culture.
I
She
think
has some bangers.
she's got
She's got some bangers.
I think with Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, I think she actually fits right in with them in her style and everything else. But all of that was manufactured.
Absolutely.
The guy that did that put that together, have y'all ever read his story? He basically took music. He was in the music business, and he said, you know what? If a rapper mentions Ozarka in the music video or in a song, he should get paid by Ozarka, right? If they mention C4, if they mention Bentley, if they mention anything out there in a rap song, they should get paid by that brand.
It's kind of like the NIL deal in college.
It's very much like the NIL deal. And they do now get paid for that. But guess what? It was his business idea. How do you monetize that? How does he monetize it? He's not a rapper. You get what I mean? He came up with the idea, he got it into the marketplace, and then the marketplace cut him out of the middle of it because there's nothing needed there.
There's no need. Yeah.
Once the brands know I can pay a rapper to
There's
mention
no need
my
for
brand,
you. I don't need you as the middleman.
I don't need to call the middleman.
Great
I
idea,
just
champ.
I just called the rapper's agent. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, great idea, whatever. It flushed him out. He was sitting in Florida back home after he flushed out of that business. And he saw the Dr. Phil episode. And he saw it and he thought, what an idiot or whatever. You know what I mean? Same thing we all thought. Like, you know.
What a spoiled brat.
Yeah, a 13-year-old girl having a bad time on Dr. Phil. That's crazy. And then the memes came out. And once the memes came out, he was like, you know what somebody should get paid for? The memes.
The memes.
They should get paid for going viral on the internet. How do we turn this attention that she has, this brand recognition, this Spoon knows who she is, he's a 40-year-old man. Braxton knows who she is, he's a 20-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Across all genres, how do we monetize that? And so he went to her mom while she was still up there in whatever that horse boot camp is and was like, hey, when your daughter gets back, she's now an internet sensation. We've got to turn this into money. Well, how are we going to do that? We have no idea, but we got to turn it into money. So they started off doing like signings, tours, meet her, all that kind of stuff. And then one day she was riding with her bodyguard and a song was on and he was listening to her rap and he was like, dang, she can actually rap.
And he put her on a.
Called up a friend that was in the music business and was like, homegirl can rap, got a beat, see if she can freestyle. She could. And then he started making those little short, I mean, not long.
Like a Vine kind of deal, like 30
Yeah,
seconds.
wasn't very long, but they started shooting the videos and he got her that deal with Snapchat. And as soon as she got that deal with Snapchat, I mean, her
Boom,
brand
blew
just,
up.
It was like a reality show on Snapchat. You could, and it's not, I mean, your generation probably ate it up. I didn't watch it. You know,
I didn't know she had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got it.
You're not normal for your generation, though.
At all.
Yeah, we need Brenton in here. He knows.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He knows.
All over it.
But anyways, every now and then it would show up. The drama from that would show up on my Snapchat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because you accidentally click on the wrong part of Snapchat, and all of a sudden you're watching that grandma that had that show on Snapchat, where she would just do funny stuff and say funny stuff to her grandson.
Oh yeah. The old grandma.
Yeah.
She was in the
Yes.
hospital recently.
She was in the hospital recently,
Yeah.
but that was a Snapchat original show or whatever. So he got her that deal, and then she turned 18. Of course, her Instagram had blown up by then. She turned 18 and immediately went to OnlyFans cashed out $50 million. I mean, she is set for life, but scaling butthole pics, not the move. Now, the girl that you're talking about that's making $500,000 a month, if you're making $500,000 a month with that, you get into some cash flow in real estate. Now
we're
that's
talking. Yeah. So maybe we need to get Bree on the show and start talking to her about real estate instead of butthole pics.
I mean, sure, whatever she does, if she enjoys doing it, let her live her life. But generational wealth, as far as what we need,
To me, if you've made $500,000 in the last 12 months for the consecutive months, she says she's averaged that on that show. I'm like,
See,
well, you need to. I just want to reach out to her and say, look, this isn't about porn. This isn't about anything. I want to make you richer.
Yeah.
I want to help you out because I mean, all they do, I would assume all they do is just blow that money. I mean, that.
Can we send her a copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, look at what Logan Paul and them have done with their attention.
They've shifted to it seems like every different.
They've had a bunch of different. The YouTube guys all get those sponsorships and all that. I mean, to me, the Grant Cardone model of active income parked into cash flow and real estate is bulletproof. If you take money that you exchanged your time for and park it into cash flow and real estate, and accept the fact that you're a landlord and you're going to have a tenant and the tenant's going to have you, long term you're going to be well off. I mean, think of everything you owned right now, Spoon, you own free and clear.
oh, it'd be bonkers.
Yeah.
It'd be bonkers. Like,
I mean, and then next month you're going to get another $500,000 for that little furry butthole of yours, and then boom, you slam it into cash
there's
flow.
probably a
and real
market
estate.
for that out there.
Yeah, but you just keep slamming it into cash flow and real estate. Eventually, you're just fucking invincible.
So just slam my furry butthole into cash flow and real estate.
You know what?
Yeah.
Rob would be a
Hold on.
supporter.
We're fixing to start.
Two bears, one cup. This is gonna be called Two Bears, One Cup.
Yeah, 2 beers, 1 cup.
Well, whatever y'all do. I mean,
Like-
I don't. I mean, it's a tough market.
I think we're in the wrong business. I think we need
But
to.
I do.
Well, I mean, Bella Thorne's the one. Wasn't she the one that made the first $1 million? Because she went on to do the same thing. So I don't know. She wasn't showing nudes. She just went on there and started doing OnlyFans. And she made $1 million, and they changed the
even
rules.
have a clue who
how
Bella Thorne
many
is.
people
She's
that are
a
watching
model.
this right now just figured out that they're chatting with the VA, and we've broken their hearts?
I don't know. Think about Liver King though. The one thing I wanted to talk. We touched on Liver King. I just learned who this dude was last week and a half, whatever.
How did you learn who he was?
A friend of mine sent me a video and was like, "I actually like this guy," and I was like, I didn't know which guy he was talking about. So, anyways,
I actually like him too, regardless of the drama that's happened the last 2 weeks. I think that he's got a lot of, he brings a lot of great messages as far as health and fitness and how that can change your life and living a clean lifestyle or getting rid of all the junk out of your life and just focusing on.
And also, doctor supplied steroids.
Well, okay, look,
spoon.
we're not talking about that.
You're
okay?
just going to be a little bit negative.
Everybody's trying to cancel him off the
I'm
fact.
not trying to cancel him.
Well, everybody's
I
trying
think
to.
baseball players ought to be able to do steroids if they want.
Hold
Do
on,
all of
time
it.
out, Spoon. You're 45.
44.
44. He's 45.
Yeah.
And you're saying the difference between you and him is the steroids?
No, I didn't say
No,
any of that.
it's not. It's fucking hard work.
Yeah. No, there's
You-
definitely hard
Things
work
that
that goes in with
even
that.
if you're juicing like that, it is so much dedication.
Oh, for
to
sure.
do that. But the criticism comes from him selling the supplements.
I think all the criticism was him saying if you just
No,
sleep.
the criticism is he's been on mic several different times. People have asked him, "Hey, are you on PEDs?" He's like, "No," and he's never have, never
not
will.
now. He said that question right there makes me the richest out of any question. Because he gets to sell this idea that
And he's got an acronym for PEDs. It's like participate. I don't know. It's something.
All right.
Anyways, he's got this whole thing that they're trying to cancel him now because he's been on mic saying, "No, I've never touched the stuff." So he had to get on and basically submit apology to the whole world, saying,
That was
"Hey,
pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, but he was real about it. He's like, "Look, I messed up. I was trying to promote a healthy lifestyle or a healthier lifestyle. Yes, at a certain age, I think everybody sitting at this table is going to eventually need testosterone replacement therapy. I'm on it. I've been on it for 3 years.
dick get bigger?
No, didn't get smaller either. It's a
Damn.
myth. I mean,
Well, but
at the end of the day, humans break down. We wear out. If you want to keep going and not end up in a doctor's office every 6 months,
Yeah.
taking high blood pressure medicine, taking cholesterol medicine, all this stuff, you've got to put effort into what you do. You got to put that work in that Liver King has definitely put in to make his body look like that. He didn't just wake up one morning and say, you know what, for the next year, I'm going to inject my ass with as much shit as I can, and I'm just going to wake up and boom, it's all going to grow.
Steroids don't
I don't
do
think
that.
he may believes that.
hold on.
I don't think he believes that.
Well, no, there are some people out there that do believe that. Yes.
Steroids just make you jacked.
They just make
like,
you jacked.
all
And
of
they
that-
don't. They don't.
You're shocked that the people of planet Earth.
No, probably not. Like, I mean, I can't believe that they think that like all these
No,
bodybuilders.
That's
I get it.
exactly
They
what they
take all
take.
this stuff,
All
just-
it is, all it is a shot, and there's no hard work.
like
in
those dudes eat chicken breast and rice for
Yeah,
that's it for
So-
years.
Spoon.
If you go back to when was it? Almost 3 years ago. I was at the heaviest I'd ever been. I was at 245 pounds.
you look good too.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I looked very unhealthy.
You looked fine to me.
No, I didn't.
Corey's trying to justify right now.
Yeah, 245 pounds. And I took a look in the mirror, and I was going to the doctor like every 3 months because I couldn't sleep, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs. And I finally looked in the mirror, and I said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm going to start. For a year straight, I didn't touch alcohol, I didn't touch sugar, I didn't touch carbs, I didn't touch anything. I strict vegetables, chicken, fish. That's it for a year. I said, if I can do this for a year, then I can eventually get to a place that my caloric deficit is low enough that I can start enjoying things again. I actually took it the second year and went even further. Now, can I have that cookie? Yes, because I know I'm going to the gym later on to put in that work that most people are not willing to do.
But the Liver King, 45-year-old man on steroids, works out how much you think a day?
I'd say he's putting
Hours.
in at least 2 workouts a day, 2 intense workouts
How many
a day.
hours?
From what he says, and I believe it is probably 2 hours of muscle training and probably 45 minutes of cardio.
So
training.
3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Working out 3 hours a day, eating raw liver
I don't think he really eats raw
and,
liver.
and bull nuts
I don't think he does that either.
and,
I don't-
and steroids.
He only
and,
ever takes
and,
small bites.
and steroids and 3 hours a day, and you look like Liver King. If you eat chicken fried steaks and walk to the car,
This guy right here,
you get the spoon body.
and you're happy.
Well, I'm happy.
Hold on, but here's the thing. Here's the part that with the Liver King that threw me off. So I've never seen this dude. He pops up. He's whatever fake fraud. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I looked at him. I was like, yeah, that dude's on steroids. Good for him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Doesn't matter to me. But
I mean, you can obviously tell by looking at him. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. But he's walking around carrying around giant livers, raw livers in the videos that I've seen, and then promoting eating raw bull nuts, like going to a fucking
Not even cooking them.
calf cutting and just sinking your teeth into bull nuts. And then he's got however many. Does he have millions of followers? How many followers does he got?
let's see.
It doesn't matter. He's got,
Okay.
let's call it millions of followers. What percentage of dudes out there right now are fucking
Holy,
completely disappointed because they've been fucking eating bull nuts and
way too
working
many.
3 hours a day, and they're like, you know what? It's not working out for me.
3.6 million followers.
but here's the
So he's influenced people to eat raw bull nuts. Raw bull nuts. Hold on.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
Greatest scam of
bull
all
nuts.
time.
Grown men
yeah raw
running
bull nuts.
around eating raw bull nuts, hoping that
Honey,
they're
I can only
fucking
take cold showers now and eat raw meat. I'm sorry. I'm different now.
hoping their abs just pop out of their stomach.
Yeah, they're just like, I just
know-
lost 37 pounds. It's all these bull nuts.
Maybe, I don't know, Spoon. But do you realize what it's like for them to wake up and realize that all the fucking raw bull nuts in the world?
First of all, they need a reality check.
Hold on, all the raw bull nuts in the world. It's like you know the Ace Ventura Pet Detective when they find out Einhorn is Finkel, and they're all like
Finkel is
"Eh,"
Einhorn.
and they've all kissed her.
Captain
Yeah.
Winky.
It's like that, but a bunch of dudes have been eating raw bull nuts.
Wait.
Fucking done. Like, what a disappointment. That's the only part I got against it. You know what I mean? Like you like.
Well, first of all, if anybody really
Time out.
out there in Facebook land, wherever, TikTok land, looks at him and says,
Raw bull nuts in my
I'm
mouth.
going to eat raw bull nuts in my mouth and it's going to make me jacked. They need a reality check.
But they're free.
But they need a reality
They're
check.
free.
I don't care.
Probably
You can get them by
I
the
don't,
bucket.
I don't
Like,
care. They need a reality check.
Here's what I want to offer. We have a young stud here, and he's at the peak of his excellence, but he's trying to get better. He's trying to improve the peak. I'm taking Nacho in Friday to get castrated.
Will you eat a raw
We can
bull
have
nut?
some raw bull nuts for you on Friday. Like, you will have them fresh right out the steer.
Still warm.
We have to
Warm.
do it. Braxton, you got to
Warm.
see
Y'all
it.
can come to the vet clinic. Just make sure they don't throw them on the ground. That's where they usually throw them.
Yeah, and it'll be dirtless. Mostly dirtless. Whatever dirt's on the guy's hand, that'll be all that's there.
Yeah, absolutely no part of me wants to put raw bull nuts into my mouth.
But you know
Braxton,
where
you
these
either
come
do
from.
that or you
Like, you
take
know, you
six-
can look him in the eyes.
Six what?
You take 6 of these Liver King capsules a day. You choose.
Oh, with this weird
hold
Scottish
on.
Highland
Hold
cow.
on.
Now, hold on.
That
Now,
ain't even. You're eating the worst cow nuts on planet Earth. Those Scottish fucking blind cows.
Can I cook them? If I can pan fry them,
Tiny
I'll eat
ass
'em.
Scottish Highland cows.
now
Those are the nuts. No.
What would you want? Like Santa Gertrudis?
Fuck no. No Santa Caputis. I want straight Brahma.
Just
Brahma.
Brahma.
Just Brahma.
What about
hey, you know
Longhorn?
what? Get the rock in
No,
here.
no. Brahmas are angry cattle. They're trying to attack you because they got the most testosterone. So if I'm trying to naturally increase my my physique through raw bull nuts, it's going to be
The Brahma bull.
But
it's gonna be the Brahma
full
bull
of-
nuts.
You want like a 4-year-old Brahma bull?
No, but
like
I don't-
Just a
I don't-
big old nut.
I don't want a steer. I don't want
Well,
a future steer. Hold on, nuts. I want grown man has bred lady fucking in his prime bull nuts.
That's what I just said. You're like 4-year-old,
Yeah.
2,000-pound Brahma.
That has slapped some ass.
Yeah, just out there, just wrecking and collecting.
So
Speaking-
let's get off of bull nuts.
Well, no, real quick. Speaking of eating phallic things, this is the crappie. It was phenomenal.
I
Really
mean, how is
good
that phallic?
thing.
It's tasty, isn't it?
Well, just wait. That looks good, right?
Yeah.
That looks good. It's good.
all that looks
Right.
Half of them.
Those are shaped like wieners. Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Those are
good. There's
good.
nothing wrong with that.
I
I
mean,
bet they
that-
taste
No,
good.
it was delicious.
yeah,
Thank
Crappie.
you, Corey.
Crappie.
yeah.
They're
Got a
good.
super tasty
You
flavor.
can come catch some if you ever come to Grosbeck.
Okay. Let's go.
We go. We got the lake house. It's sitting there vacant right now, just wanting Rob and fam.
You know, I always want to go to
Saturday.
Lake House, but I can never get a date down there.
Jason, we don't even need to go into how many times you've been about to go and then had all your stuff thrown out the yard last second. Like,
I mean, that's happened twice.
But this is gonna be one of those deals where y'all gotta we cut the commercial and come back and
I'm
Spoon's
gone.
walking in, just leave my
leave my wife's
So-
name out.
I've only got one arm. There's going to be a camera wrapped around somebody's neck in here.
So what you got?
So what? And he said something is. Do I look unhappy?
No? Why wouldn't I assume that?
No, I'm saying you say. I think
Be mindful of the microphones.
I'm mindful of the microphones. I think that to live your best life goes hand in hand with physical fitness.
Look at this.
I honestly do. I mean, me and Braxton talked about it before. I mean, if you're gonna if you put that much effort into your own self, imagine what you can do into real estate or investing or anything like that. It starts with you every day. You've got to sit there and say, and I've already said this. You've got to sit there and say, am I going to invest in me today? What am I going to invest in me today before I go invest my money into other people or invest my money into other things like real estate, stocks, whatever your vehicle is to make you money. You got to take that time for yourself.
I diet every morning.
Huh?
I diet every morning.
Diet?
Yeah.
The beard?
No. I diet.
Okay.
Like DIET. Diet.
Okay.
I take a morning shit. I lose weight right then. Probably lose more weight peeing, really. For
You
being
actually
honest.
do.
And then I'm out the door. I done lost at least a pound and a half.
Every day. Pound
Every
and a half
day,
a
yeah.
That would be a false statement, but go ahead.
I mean, you go through a bulking cycle during the day, too.
No, don't. See, y'all are just confused because When I got into real estate, I was, what, 30?
You've been
31.
31. So, I mean, my testosterone level was probably higher. And then I went keto for 2 years like he did.
Mm-hmm.
Got down to 205. Stayed there until COVID and a pregnancy. Not mine. I mean, my child, but not my pregnancy. I wasn't with child.
You had pregnancy hunger?
No, I got locked indoors with a lady that lived on Oreos. And that's what happened. Now, I will say this. I felt 110% better whenever I was 205. And I've had this conversation probably 100 times now where I'm like, keep this motherfucking sugar out my goddamn house. Don't buy it. I have the self-control to not buy the sugar. I can go into the grocery store.
But when it's there,
But if it's at the house,
it's hard to stop. Like here lately during the holidays, like at the office, everybody's birthday falls. Boom, 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 boom. You got Nikita. You got
Dude,
you've got Eddie. You've got Alex, and we just had Rachel. 4 weeks in a row, we've had crumble cookies in the office. I'm like, and they're so good. You know?
I can't buy it. Like I don't buy Oreos. I don't buy oatmeal cream pies. Anything because I will kill the box. Day.
it'll go. I mean,
It just goes because it's an addiction.
it's it's a real problem.
It's a
never
real
buy it.
problem.
I never buy it.
It's a huge addiction problem that most people are not even aware of because it's packed full of all this stuff is packed full of junk. I mean, it tastes good, but it's packed full of junk so that you will get addicted to it, so you go buy it again. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you've got to have the mindset that I'm not going to let something like this control me.
It's a discipline thing.
Yeah, it's a discipline thing. If you've got that self-discipline, then you can transfer that self-discipline not only from physically fit into relationships, into saving money or investing money. I mean, it all starts, again, with yourself.
Spoon. You listening?
I am listening.
And I think it's a commitment deal.
It is a commitment deal.
Commit to improving on that, having that discipline. You can commit to a whole bunch of other
I don't
things.
run a calorie deficit anymore like I used to. It's not the same. I mean, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
There's probably something to the low T, but like it.
Well, I mean,
Braxton, you said it. You were like you don't run a calorie deficit because of whatever reason.
Well, because you hardly ever you have like one meal a day.
Yep.
You don't really snack.
Nope.
You don't just buy fast. You never buy fast food.
Well,
Nope.
I will tell you where you're flawed is only eating one meal a day.
No.
Your body is like an engine.
Fuck that.
Well, just listen to me. Hear me out.
You reset your BSMR.
Yeah. So basically, your body's like an engine, right? And it runs off of gas. Your gas is food, which is carbs, fats, meats, proteins, whatever. If you want to eat this shit that Liver King sells, fine. Bang, C4, whatever.
That's all I live on.
Okay.
I haven't had a cup of water in 2.5 months.
Okay. Well, your kidneys are probably screaming, please
No,
forgive me.
no. Look, Braxton, I lied.
So at
I
some
have,
point, your blood pressure catches up.
Yeah.
You need to talk into the microphone, Spoon, if you're going to join this conversation.
I said at some point, your blood pressure
But your
catches
body,
up.
your body is like an engine. If you're only feeding it one time a day,
it runs on jet fuel.
that's not jet fuel. That's garbage.
That
what
is.
it is. That's straight garbage. But listen to me. If it runs out of gas. So what does it do when it gets that gas? It stores it. You have to feed it every 2 to 3 hours. It doesn't matter if it's a plate of broccoli, a couple of pieces of chicken. You've got to consistently feed it every 2 to 3 hours.
Look, you've watched that video that says that. I've watched one completely different.
I've watched several thousand videos that shows
It's
that
called
I'm
confirmation
right.
bias.
Yeah, it's
It's called
confirmation bias.
confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Watch the NAD videos. Watch the guy, the Peter, whatever his name is, that's in charge.
Well, I
of
mean,
NAD.
if you're doing fasting, that's fine.
That's what he's
Intermittent
doing, is
fasting.
Intermittent fasting is fine. It decreases inflammation. There's a lot of health benefits to that. I mean,
Spoon don't like any
I
of
think
it.
when I've only eaten coffee today, so
We're talking about chicken fried steaks. So
I do like those,
What's
but
for
I don't
dinner?
eat those. I
but
probably
let
eat
me ask
those
you a
2
question.
times a
When
year
you
right
do
now.
eat,
3
what-
times a year,
what-
maybe.
When you do eat, what are you eating?
I ate a ribeye steak between 16 and 40 ounces
And cheesy broccoli.
and cheesy broccoli.
But here's
That's all
what
you
you
eat.
here's what you're missing
I mean,
is
but, wait, hold on. Now listen. It's not perfect because Used to when I went to Roadhouse, I would only get the peanuts. But Roadhouse during COVID, what'd they do?
Got rid of the peanuts.
You got to ask for the bag of peanuts. So used to I could just have the peanuts as soon as I got there. But now, what do you got as soon as you get there?
Bread.
Fucking rolls, and I'm like, I mean, it just don't
I've
work
watched
out
them.
for me.
They just like
I
him
can.
too.
I mean, I will, but here's my commitment. My commitment to myself is going to be working out in the mornings, in the 2 hours that I'm awake before everybody else is awake, and going back to the keto. It ain't real keto because I'm going to eat way too many vegetables. But going back to
You're still
that.
better off doing that because it's going to give you
I feel
lasting
that
energy.
that if you're not putting processed crap in your body, and you're actually paying attention to what you eat, if it grows from the ground or it moved or had a heartbeat at one point in time, then you can eat it.
No, that's what I do. I mean, I eat meat, vegetables, meat, vegetables, meat, vegetables, meat, vegetables.
Yeah.
Every single meal. You know, on the rare occasion that I'm around pizza, it don't stand a chance. So I don't even worry about it. You bring a pizza in here right now, we're gonna fuck it up. That's just life.
I would be like, y'all enjoy.
Well, used to I'd scrape the toppings off.
No, I'd be like, y'all
And
enjoy.
not eat the crust. But I mean, it is a discipline. And I was telling Braxton we were going to have a weight loss competition. I think me and Shane were, and I never started mine. I think Shane went all in. He's down to like 62 pounds or something.
Yeah, something like that.
He got so skinny, blacked out, can't function. I don't think he can get any skinnier. He's basically a Ethiopian at this point. Have you seen Shane lately?
I was just waiting for Sohail in the back.
He's
to say
204.
something.
He lost like 25 pounds.
Yeah, he was looking good the last time I saw him. He was
Well,
skinny.
if your version, I think Shane needs to bulk up. I think you need to bulk up. I'm sad at Braxton's marathon training because he lost all of his good progress of.
Like Cartman bulk up, like, ma'am.
No, like this. Look at Rob. Look at Rob.
Don't look at me.
No, look at Rob. Look at Rob's shoulders. Look at my shoulders. I mean, that's what Braxton could have if he gets out of the marathons and gets into the fucking gym
And eats the testicles.
and eats the
No,
raw
yes,
bull
don't.
testicles.
You have the opportunity this week, Friday, to eat some raw
I'm just
bull
going to pass
testicles.
on that one.
Nacho is there to provide for you.
I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, you know, those shoulders will last you a lifetime if you get them there.
I do get what you mean, but I feel good. I've got energy. I can go run 14, 15
I mean,
miles
but there's
without
different
stopping.
types. There's different types of athletes out there. There's the guys that love cardio. I hated it.
I hate it.
I hated it. For 21 years, I was forced to run every morning at 6:30, and it was every morning. Like, you were going running. You woke up in the morning, hey, let's do some gym stuff. Let's do some strength training. Nope, we're going on a 3-mile run every single morning. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. Still hate it to this day.
Do you,
I will not
you think
do it.
Top hated it, or did he just want to
Oh, no,
make you?
top. I don't know. They're a different breed. That's why.
I mean, was it?
That
But
What?
was it just your sergeant just trying to punish you?
No, I don't think it's about punishment. It's just in the Army, the younger Army, now they've completely switched to a strength training module, which is more beneficial to what we do in combat. You're hardly ever running away from the enemy. You're never running away from the enemy.
Carried a bunch of shit going towards
you're
him.
carrying a heavy shit going towards them.
Rob's got a 249 with full loadouts.
I know. You're not. I mean, I've been
you
to
that
5
guy?
combat tours. I don't know anybody that was hauling ass the other direction. They're hauling that way.
Were you the guy that got to carry the saw with the full loadout?
I've had to carry it before. Yeah. That's the most fun.
They always
weapon.
put it on the small guy. Like, it's never the giant dude.
And I was not that physically fit in the military. I mean, I could run, I could do push-ups, I could max out my PT test. But as far as like going to the gym every day, that didn't start until I got into my late 30s. I mean, I was, in most people's opinion, I was out of shape as far as the soldier look. You know, if I stepped in a uniform now,
Would you
they'd
just
be
pass
like,
on a tape test?
I was always getting flagged. I mean, not flagged, but I was always having to be taped. I was always made tape, but I mean, it was just like barely, you know.
Yeah.
My
What
old
is that?
boss was a monster, and his neck
What
was
is
like
tape?
that big.
So
Tape test?
basically, it's a body mass index. They call it a tape test. They measure your neck and your abdomen.
They must not do that to the Air Force.
I don't know.
Well, so like Steele
cheer
was
force.
such a big guy. He was such a big guy. His neck was like this big. He always passed on the tape.
So I always had a big neck, and I'd say but I was wearing 36s my whole military career as far as waist size. My whole military. I'm in a 32 now. Damn. I mean, never was anywhere close to that.
I probably haven't seen a 32 since 8th grade.
Yeah. I mean, I think my early 20s, and then
Definitely a 30
I shot up to 36.
You are?
right now.
You're at a what?
Nothing.
I'm a 32.
I was a 32. How the fuck are you 6 foot tall and a 32?
Got a little bitty
Short
short
legs.
legs. I got short legs too. I'm all torso.
That's
It's
a
all weird.
weirdo.
No, you have no hair on your legs. It's different.
Yeah. I used to squeeze into
I
Ty's
just don't have any hair on my
29s
leg.
because Ty had more
wore work
expensive
boots and
jeans.
all that.
So
It
thank
looks
you,
better.
Ty.
Weird.
Well, I don't like the running towards the battle. This is a great segue. There's a guy. What did you ever go watch The Old Man that I sent y'all?
Oh, I saw him. Yeah, he was hilarious.
When
Oh my God. Rob probably won't enjoy it too much, but there's a dude that goes around and interviews World War II veterans. And I don't know how long he's been doing it, but he just asks them their battle stories, and they get real emotional, and they're like really upset about the things that they saw and did in the military. But there's this one guy, and I think his name's Walter what? Walter, it starts with an F. Walter Foose.
I don't
Google
remember.
him.
It was
Walter-
pretty.
Walter Foose. He's just got this big smile on his face.
It's like, nah, I was coming home. I fucking killed them all. Like,
No, he wasn't. He never said he would. He never said he was coming home.
no, I'm just saying, like, he had that attitude. Like, I just did what I had to do. Like, he was very.
He was. He wasn't. He was never confident that he was coming home. He was just comfortable with death.
I don't know.
You know,
how
the
to
older
search this.
how old are
It's
you? You're
World
45?
War II vet
44?
Walter. Well, it'll come up.
You know, the older you get, the more I think there's this transition period. Like, the older you get, the more you become aware of death and not scared of it.
This guy was 18 years old. 18 years old, dropped off on Hiroshima, and all of his commanders, he told one of his lieutenants, his new lieutenant, he's like, "You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get shot if you don't." He's like, "You're gonna go do this." He's like, "I'm not gonna go do that." He's like, "Why?" He goes, "Because I don't want to die." And he's like, and he goes, "And if you don't get down, you're gonna get shot by a sniper." And then he's like, "My lieutenant got shot in the throat, and then the next day we had a new one." He was 18 years old whenever he was in. So this one right here, oh man, so that guy
Philippek.
that watch the 7-minute and 57-second video. See if
this guy goes around and interviews World War II vets, and there's one guy, the first guy I watched, I think his name's Phila, in front of the Great Wall of China.
all right. So
behind
pause this. So he gets a prisoner of war, Japanese prisoner of war, and they tell him take him down wherever. And so he's taking him to the back of the line or wherever they had to take the Japanese prisoner of war, and he gets in an argument with him over a picture. Okay, over a picture of that the prisoner had, and he's like, "I want that picture." And the prisoner was like, "No, I'm not going to give you the picture." So he kills him, takes the picture, and it's the soldiers' dad or granddad's picture of them cutting guys' heads off on the Great Wall of China. And he tells the story, and then he holds the picture up. He's 94 years old. So, anyways, go.
Back to his bros.
Walter
goes,
That's the Great Wall. The Great Wall of China. That is something to see, too. I've been all over it.
that
Well,
guy,
let's get his
Walter
ribbons off.
Philippek.
Jesus,
Might be the
man.
best dude I've ever seen.
American hero. Sergeant. I said, you might be a sergeant, but to me, you're a shitbird like everybody else. They'll kill you.
There's one time Walter's in his foxhole. They set off a flare in the middle of the night. And he said there was a Japanese dude just right at the foot of his foxhole about to jump in. So he shoots him. And the guy like fell into the foxhole. And there's two other guys that were sleeping were like, "Who's that?" Or like, what the fuck was that? And he's just like, "Just somebody that shouldn't have been here." And then I went back to sleep. He just woke up and blasted him, dude. Tucked himself back in.
And one more step, that Jap been on top of us. So I shot him. He fell down over the cliff. And boys jumped up. What happened? I said, we just about had an unwanted visitor in there. I said, I'm going to bed now. Y'all can have us from here. So next morning, I walked all the way around, went down there, got a Longines wristwatch off of him, got a Japanese flag, got a rifle. I got the wristwatch, and I got the flag yet.
That must have been so sick
Looted
back
him.
then.
He looted
But
him.
I mean, it's
Well, you can bring
so
your
that
own sword
generation and that war, you can't compare it to what's going on now. Those guys went through hell.
But-
I mean, they went through hell on earth.
But the what Shane's point that he's making here was, if you go watch these interviews, this guy goes around and interviews all the
Yeah.
World War II. They're always emotional about it. Walter's just sitting there like, hey, I had to go. He started working in a coal mine when he was 13. He was working in a coal mine, and when he was 13 or 15 or something, the guy was like, "You're gonna go down that deal." He's like, "No, I haven't been down there. That thing's gonna cave in," and he's like, "You're gonna have to go down there. We got to do this." He goes, "I'm not going in that shaft. It's going to cave in," and then they were like, anyways. It caves in. He's like, "Man, I'm glad I didn't go, or we didn't go in there." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I was never going to go in there. It was going to cave in." And that's whenever he was a child working with his dad in the coal mines. At 17, he went out for boot camp, and they were talking about the boot camp during World War II. He talks about about going through the training. And he's like, "What did they train you?" He goes, "They didn't even give us a real set of clothes. Like they got like sewed on somebody else's clothes that they'd repaired." And he's like, "We didn't get dress blues. We didn't get none of that stuff because they were like, you're not going to make it. You're never going to live. Like, don't worry about it. You're not going to get to do any of that stuff." They gave him a rifle, but his day that he got off the boat, they're in Okinawa, and the Japanese are dug in all around the island, and he's talking about that. And so they get off the boat and they're sitting there, and he goes, "Hey, that brush pile down there's moving." And so, they put eyes on him, and it's like, "Yeah, there's a soldier down there, a Japanese soldier." And he's like, "Great, I'm going to put some tracers in my rifle, and I'm going to shoot him." And the lieutenant or sergeant or whatever is like, "Dude, that's 500 yards. You can't hit him." He goes, "Listen, if I put tracers in here and you put your eyes on him and you walk me into him, we'll get him." And so on the third shot, he hits him because he's shooting tracers. And the lieutenant's like, "No, keep going right. Go right. High right. And hits him. Got him. And that's Walter's first day on the island. It's his first day in battle. And the lieutenant tells him, "Well, I'm glad you're on my team." And he goes, "Well, they trained me to kill, so that's what I'm here to do." Like, that's why I'm on this island. But hit play again, Sohill.
Have like a nasty autist in the foxhole,
Bro.
Yeah. Man, there's so many good ones. I watched an hour and a half.
I can listen to it. Yeah, I can
It
listen
was
to this
incredible,
for
and it's
5
just
hours.
straight. Camera's just on Walter sitting there, like, well.
How high were his pants?
Matt, the pants.
The
Was
people
fine.
want to know about the pants level too, though.
I mean, you've
Why?
seen her. That's a dumb question.
Why does that matter?
obviously.
That is a
There's
dumb
no way
question.
he's
I know,
sagging.
dude. Yeah, but don't do
Steps
that.
up and
That's
he's
how bad it
sagging.
is.
He's not sagging.
Yeah, he's
Suspenders or no suspenders?
No suspenders, dude. Just an American flag button down with his medals pinned to his shirt. But some of them are rough to watch. Some of the geezers.
Oh, they're not all a blast.
No, they're not all.
They're not all a minute.
He's a
They're not all a
comedian.
hoot
The
like
atrocities,
Walter.
the
Pacific Theater. In my opinion, that's not
Walter
very funny.
didn't give a fuck, dude. Everybody else is just broken, and Walter's just like, "I did it. I did what I had to do, so I done it."
He has a necklace of ears.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was saying. So he lands on. I think it was Okinawa.
Yeah, this is.
So he gets there. There was like a Japanese dude like 500 yards away, like they could see him, and he's talking to his commanding officer, and he's like,
Hold on.
I'm gonna put some tracer."
Yeah, so this is the story. But anyways, keep going. I don't know. I don't want to get a copyright
And
violation.
they were like, "You can't hit that."
No chance. So Walter fucking lit this dude up. And the guy's like, "I'm glad I'm on your side." He's like, "Well, I come here to kill, so that's what I'm doing." He's just murdering people.
It's very practical.
Tracer is a
I mean,
bullet.
murdering's a strong.
You know how
word.
when they light up?
I mean,
Yeah,
he.
that's a tracer.
Oh, really?
Like,
those
so
aren't all
I
the-
watched this
you know,
little
in,
clip right
in
here.
Fury,
Go ahead and turn it
like,
off.
it almost-
Sure.
I watched this little clip right here, and then I had to go find the full episode. So Walter's telling great stories, but they're not. There's no chronological timeline. He's at basic. He's in the coal mine. It's like talking to me. He's just
All over the place.
He's all over the place. But
Less or more hookers involved?
but Walter was a badass. He was a salty ass veteran 3 weeks into this thing because he had survived longer than
Anybody else?
Which
made him in charge.
Kinda. I mean, but he was getting new sergeants,
If he
new
had a smart
lieutenants,
LT, it
new
was.
everything over and over again. But they would send him on these missions. So one of them, he's walking down the beach, and so he's running down the beach, and it's a pretty neat story because.
Now imagine that time now.
Oh, I know, but he's with two other dudes
We'll
that
be
are brand new, and they have no idea what to do.
Well, we can't fight that kind of war again.
And he's going down the beach, and he finds some guys in a cave. So they dug in all these caves, and he finds some dudes in the cave, and so they go over there with a flamethrower, and they're trying to light them up.
Holy shit.
And it ain't working. And so they throw a hand grenade out at them. And the two dudes just are like, oh shit, a hand grenade. And Walter picks it up and throws it back in the cave. You know what I mean? And so they're like, why would you do that? And he goes, what else were you going to do? You know what I mean? So they're trying all this stuff.
Are you just going to sit there and die, or are you going to do something?
So they end up coming to this part of the beach where they start smelling a really bad smell, like dead bodies or dead something. They get there, and there's just a pile of men, Japanese men, and they were committing suicide. They would jump off a cliff up top and die on their beach. And he goes, they'd all stabbed themselves.
Harry Carey.
Yeah, they I think he said Harry Carey.
Seppuku, however you say it.
So anyways, he's like, because the value system of the Japanese soldier was never surrender.
Ritual suicide.
So they would commit suicide. And so he found the suicide place, and he's like, and it tore those other guys up. He's like, they were puking, they couldn't handle it. He's like, he went around, got some guns, got some more ammo, got some stuff off of them, and then like, all right, let's go back to camp, and march back to camp. So, I mean, his stories are pretty wild, but World War II and as in a whole, and the crazy part about Walter's story was this was all happening after they dropped the bombs in Hiroshima. So 90% of Walter's story, he was there when they dropped the bombs, and they ran a whole bunch of missions to get ready to drop the bombs, and he was there when they surrendered, and then he had to roll over to China to do some things over there. They still had a proxy war going on in China, so he had to roll over to China and handle that up. But anyways, pretty interesting podcast if you want to watch it.
Dude, I just found out on the way here today, my great uncle, the last one of my granddad's brothers is living, was at Bikini Atoll when they tested the hydrogen bomb. I didn't know it. I was talking to my cousin. He's like, yeah, he's getting checks from the government because he was there when they popped that thing off. And
we don't know what that is.
Bikini Atoll is where bikinis come from. All the islanders there. People tried to model their islands, right? Or their wear. But they literally, we showed up there. The Navy shows up and like, hey guys, Chief, I'm going to take you over here to this island for a few days. Check this out. We'll bring you right back. They popped a hydrogen bomb off, and the Bikini Atoll is no more. It's just a half moon, like a crescent out in the ocean.
Did you hear about this?
That's true.
It's true. Like we disappeared that island, and we're like, sorry guys, they don't have a home to go to anymore. These people have been trying to fight to get back to their island for years, and the radiation levels are so high now they can only go there for a few days at a time.
I don't know. I mean, how many bombs did they blow up?
Oh,
usually they do them underground or underwater.
Well, not usually, because they used to sell tours to go watch them set off bombs in Vegas.
Before they found out.
We've done hundreds.
They used to just set off bombs out close enough to Vegas that they would take people out there on a bus, and they'd sit on the side of a hill and go blind. They'd give them welding glasses and say, don't look at it.
Until they figured out that it's dangerous and people were getting cancer and all this other things from exposure to it.
Well, I know that it's dangerous. I don't doubt that it's dangerous. I just think that if we set off 100 bombs out by Vegas, and they used to sell $4 tickets to go watch it.
You're talking about back in the 50s, right?
I'm talking about, I don't know.
Manhattan Project era. Yeah. Right then.
40s and 50s.
I'm just like,
when you tour the Trinity site at White Sands, it's open twice a year on Memorial Day and Labor Day. They open it up, and you can go out there where they popped Fat Man the first test run before we went to Hiroshima. There's all these stories they print out, and one is like the one that always stood out to me was this colonel's like, I knew we had something special. I was holding that ball of uranium in my hands, and my hands just kept getting hotter. I just knew we had something special on our hands. Like, they had no fucking idea what they were doing.
Well, they have no idea.
I mean, they had an idea. They just didn't know. They didn't know the intensity until it went off, and then when it went off, they figured out, oh shit, what have we done? It was an oh shit moment.
Well, I think it's an oh shit moment, but I also think that.
Well, that moment changed the way that we fight wars indefinitely. I mean, you can't drop a tactical nuke on anybody.
I agree, and I know the nukes they got today are unbelievably more powerful than the ones we got, but I think they could set them all off and the planet would survive.
No, false statement. Humans would not survive.
I think the planet would survive.
The planet, yes, but not humans.
I think humans would still be out
false
there.
False statement.
Why do you think that?
Because we've already set off
Not
Countless.
Under MAD though. If mutually assured destruction, if they release all the arsenals, no, I mean
human race would
human
vanish.
If you could get underground, maybe a few hundred, but it would kill all the life on the planet until it could rebound. I mean, a few things that survive.
Targeting, cities and population centers versus shooting them off in.
I mean, but the desert has nothing for it to attach to, no organic life, nothing like that.
Go to,
but
Google the 2 cities that have been nuclear bombed. Let's see how they look today.
Yeah, but under MAD, where we just release everything.
Those are different bombs.
Stop. Just
Google.
the
yield's very low on those compared to the new ones.
Yeah, those are very different bombs.
Y'all have not blown up a nuclear bomb recently. Neither one of y'all.
No, but
you're absolutely
know
right.
what the yield
Don't plan on it either.
And y'all weren't there in 44 when they blew up this motherfucker. Now, look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki today. Look at the pictures of it today. I don't care. Look at them.
Okay.
Are they doing good? They doing okay? Now look at Detroit.
Okay. Look at, what is it? Chernobyl?
Look at the before and after.
Look at Chernobyl. Still unpopulatable.
Not really. People live there.
Yeah. Okay.
They do. They live there. They did a whole Netflix series and went and visited the people that live there. They just live there.
But it's not thriving. Okay.
They won't let it thrive. When the government won't let you go into a place.
Well, there's a reason why you can't go in there. It's hazardous to your health.
Yeah, so I mean, little boy was 15 kilotons, Fat Man was 22. The modern ones are 800 kilotons.
I get that you're going to throw some math at me. Have you popped one off on a city?
None of us have.
None of us have, and none of us will.
Okay, hold on. Time out.
Well, Putin might. Knock on wood. I mean, he might drop one.
They popped 2 off on 2 cities that are now doing better than Detroit.
So you think if a few thousand of those go off, say 5,000.
I think the world's a big place, and I think a few thousand of them have already gone off.
In one specific place. But if they go off in population-dense areas.
I think a few thousand of them have already gone off.
Well, you heard it here, folks.
Look, I'm not saying it's 100% propaganda. I think it's blown way out of proportion, though. I think it's blown extremely out of proportion. I think sugar's probably going to end the planet before.
Oh yeah,
well, there's stupidity.
Sugar and diabetes is going to kill the planet way before a nuclear bomb will.
You were talking about we can't fight that war now.
We can't.
I'm not a veteran, but I can't imagine the people on TikTok storming the beaches in Normandy.
No, it's not going to happen. I mean, like if that type of war broke out to where we had to go, I mean, it even proved in Iraq and Afghanistan. Going door to door is not our job. Yeah. We failed, in my opinion, in Iraq and Afghanistan.
See, you did 5 tours? You said
5 total tours throughout my military career.
Where at?
Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait. I mean, they really don't count Kuwait as a.
I mean, Ali Assalam's something.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we are not effective going door to door in a city environment. We never really won the war.
No,
Afghanistan or Iraq.
We definitely lost.
We call it a victory because we got out. But
I agree with all this, but I'm not. But like World War II,
our job as a military is not to be a policing action.
Oh, no.
We're not a policing action, and this is my opinion, and it's not the opinion of anybody else that would come on record and say it. We should have dropped bombs in Iraq. We should have dropped bombs in Afghanistan. And I'm not talking about conventional. I'm talking about nukes. Just nuked it off the map. Because what are we there for anyways? If you really want to get down to brass tacks, what were we there for? Uranium? I'm sorry. Lithium in Afghanistan and oil in both of those places.
Well, there's conspiracy theories that say we're there for the opiates in Afghanistan.
And nobody can hear what you're saying because you're not talking to them.
You're going to have to get a longer mic. I get nervous when something that big and round is that close to my face.
Look, I don't know what the war was about. I mean, the response to 9/11 should have just been a button.
Yeah, boop.
Just your mountains, no more.
Boop. The Hindu Kush is gone. It's just flat.
I mean,
nothing. We should have deployed 0 troops, unless it was cleanup efforts afterwards. There's countless soldiers that literally,
What I mean, Spoon. All you got to do is just pay attention and know that you're going to have to use that mic if you want the world to hear that sweet little voice of yours.
It is sweet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whenever you lean back in your chair, take the mic with you. Just hang on to it. There you go. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Hey, girl, hey.
Now you're
How's
probably
your mama and them?
you're probably not in frame, but
No, I'm going to get over here.
Spoonie,
I'm here with Corey Thompson.
You're
Rob
being
Trigg,
like, oh, that's they weren't
old
expecting
Braxton
this.
Harrison.
It's like, no, that's what we want.
that's
like,
what
that
we've been
works
wanting
now.
the whole time.
Braxton Harrison, the expert on podcasts here, folks. Come back for more tips and tricks from him.
Absolutely.
Like, subscribe, all the things.
Yeah, all those things. Hit the bell so YouTube don't not let you know.
So that YouTube don't not let you know when you need to know what you got to know on.
Here's the thing about the YouTubes is you got to subscribe to get more of this content.
Lord have mercy.
You're doing good, Spoon.
I like it. Now that I can just free ball with this over here, like I'm all in.
You can. I mean, you can lean back. Ain't nobody care if you're in focus. I think the camera will autofocus.
You
Does it
could have
auto-
done that with the old mic.
Yeah, you could have done it with the old mic.
Well, listen,
Hey, can we
I'm
just-
not that sophisticated.
We need.
I am not a
headsets.
metropolitan dude
We
like
need
you, so
headsets.
Hill.
Why do you
Dave
need
Ramsey.
headsets?
Because it's easier to talk with headsets.
Yeah,
on.
you just move around,
You just move around.
except for the cord. I'd get tangled up in it and fall
But I mean,
over.
Oh, you're talking about for the mics?
yeah, headsets.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, okay.
These are good. These,
I'll get
I mean,
you one next time.
No, you don't. No,
yeah, no, Rob
please.
is going to be the only one with it.
No,
I'm
I'm up here. Hey, right, 36 dive on two. Call the play. Send it in. No,
I mean, I like these mics.
calling for air
I
support.
just look at Spoon and I'm like, how do you not remember? We podcast every
I
week.
just enjoy you so much. I lose myself. Like it's hard. Like y'all don't understand the sheer animal magnetism of this guy over here. And sometimes I just lose myself in those eyes right
What-
there.
This is true. These are all facts. Braxton, do you want
That's
to comment
spotty.
on this?
That's spotty beard.
It seems like you're added to the list
He-
with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
hold on. What?
yeah.
What are we
He gets
talking
He
a
was
little bit
trying. He
weird
was
about
trying to
Ryan
tell me.
Why are you
some-
weird about Ryan Reynolds?
No, I just
Spoon
told him
is.
if you're gonna go gay, it's got to be somebody like
I thought we weren't going to say any of that because you're a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
Ryan
We
Reynolds is a
have
handsome
Spoon
man. I don't know what
on-
to tell you.
Record saying,
Don't say that.
yeah.
And then he says it. But for the record, penis hasn't been in my mouth yet. But if the right one comes along, I'm not against that, Spoon.
I don't hear Braxton saying it hadn't been in his mouth, so I'm gonna assume that means it has.
Jason, whatever puts you to sleep at night.
Hey, whatever
That's
you
That's a weird answer.
whatever you Spoon,
He's back there laughing his ass
That's a
off.
weird answer.
Braxton. Well, you just know that whatever somebody says about you says more about them than it
Yeah,
does
it's
you.
projection.
That's right.
For sure.
So, what do you think, Rob? What do you
About
think about different generations? You really don't think Braxton's generation could go win a war?
nope.
Think I could win a war?
If there was all
Braxton.
Braxton,
See, if we clone Braxtons,
I think if
no, they're all weird. They're weird, man. I'm telling you, they are weird. Like they don't have focus. They don't have commitment. They don't know that. You heard this quiet quitting thing?
no,
It's like people come to their to the job. Google quiet quitting. Put it up on the screen.
must be a Houston
Google
thing.
quiet quitting, Siri.
Yeah.
Hey Siri.
Yeah. So quiet quitting it means they go to their job and perform as little as possible so that they get fired.
Right. So they
Yeah,
don't actually have to quit. They're
Something like that, right?
Well, quiet quitting, it was talked about a couple months ago as, when workers entered the workforce back after COVID, they kind of realized, and this is the issue we're talking about, like what are people doing right now to make money? They realized their like time and worth and basically felt that they weren't getting compensated for that. So, worked their wage is another way of saying it.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation of it. The talking points where people are going in and not
Performing.
performing because
They think they're worth more than what
Yes.
they're
So
actually.
you're saying they reduced their amount of output to match what they thought they were being paid?
yes.
whatever
Yes.
to keep the job.
So yeah,
That's
just
called
doing the
entitlement.
bare minimum so that they can keep the job. Like
Entitlement.
entitlement. And here's the other thing that really upsets me about this generation. I'd say right now, the 20 to 30, mid 30s, they have this huge sense of you owe me something. Entitlement. You owe me something. Like, I don't need to be working here. I can go on the internet and do it. Then go fucking do it. Then go do it. If you think you can make you $1 million and get on freaking OnlyFans, then why aren't you doing it?
It feels like there should be a word for that. You know, people that believe they should get something for nothing.
It's entitlement.
It's entitlement.
I was just being silly, dude.
Yeah. But nobody really wants to put in the work or the effort to do what they need to do to make it and be successful. I mean, this is the one thing that gets under my skin. I mean, I've talked to Braxton about this because he's a different breed. I've talked to you about this. I mean, you've got this whole generation of people that have this unlimited amount of potential, and you can see that potential and you try to bring it out of them on a daily basis, and you're like, look, it's there. I know it's there. And then they do something and they go 2 steps back, and you're like, fuck. What do you do now?
Do you think it's too much opportunity? And what I mean in the sense, like,
they think they have too much opportunity.
No, there is too much opportunity.
Like there's too much. Like, what were your options when you got out of high school?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Right. Okay. So he went out and tamed dragons with these 2 hands.
Okay.
Like,
really, what were your options?
That was his reality.
Okay. What?
Like, but I'm serious. Like, you only had a certain amount of options in your situation.
No, I didn't. I had unlimited options. I got kicked out of high school for stealing a bus. I went to work for an electrical company.
Right.
I could bend 1-inch rigid. I was in a truck bending 1-inch rigid.
He still practices that on the daily.
And that was it. So I was that was first option. And then I ran into Jacob at the gas station. He's like, hey, why don't you come down to College Station? I was like, yeah, I'll come down to College Station. Got down there. I was like, you know what? I don't want to leave. My friends are here. You got an apartment. I can sleep on your floor. Hold on. I was like, I don't want to leave. I got this job back home. I'm decent enough at it, but I think I can do something else. So I got the newspaper, the literal newspaper, pulled it out, answered 2 ads. One of them was Barback at Shadow Canyon, which isn't in business anymore, same owner of the Dixie Chicken, or Bud Crew, Bitches Under Dawn, and I got hired out for Bud Crew. So I was go collect money, go count the money, go fucking shovel horse shit in stalls for Don Adams, the owner of the fucking Dixie Chicken. Whatever he needed, we did that day, and I would drive Shane's truck back and forth to work. And as I was doing that, I'd answered another ad in the paper, and it was for selling Kirby vacuum cleaners. Have you ever sold Kirby vacuum cleaners? Have you ever sold Kirby vacuum cleaners?
Not going to.
Have you ever sold Kirby
door to
vacuum
door?
cleaners? Yeah, door to door.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize I was joining a cult until we were singing along a song to hype us up to go sell Kirby vacuum cleaners. And it was a real cool presentation. They gave you a Kirby and you went and did your presentation, and you would pull bed mites out of fucking little old lady sheets, and fucking boom, they'd buy a $3,000 vacuum on payments. And I did that, and I sold Kirby's, and I was selling Kirby's, but I had to ride in this fucking van all day with 2 hot chicks and a bunch of dudes, and we all had to dress in the Kirby, not uniform, but kind of outfit. And they would knock you into deals, and you'd do a 45-minute presentation, and then you'd walk back out to the curb with your vacuum, and then eventually they'd come get you again, and they'd have you another appointment set up. And the girls did the knocking, and we did the selling, and I was doing that. And still working as a bitch under Dawn, okay, to actual make money and trying to sell Kirby's for commission. And I answered another ad in the paper, and I went and started selling Toyotas. As I was selling Toyotas, I was a fucking savage Toyota seller, okay? And I got skated on a fucking commission. You know what skated on a commission means? Mm-hmm. It means I sold the fucking car,
somebody else
earned a split, and they didn't give me the split. What do you think I did, Braxton?
Knocked them out.
I let them fucking hands go. Well, I wasn't built for that no more. So I came home, I burned my fucking clothes, my car sales clothes, and my dad had told me one thing about fucking off on all this shit. You know what he told me, Braxton? When you get tired of fucking off with all that shit, you call me and you can come work on the rig with me. And when I lit my fucking sales outfit on fire over a skated commission in the barbecue pit at Sterling fucking Apartments, while Jacob Gorell was like, what the fuck's Corey having a meltdown for? I called my dad and he said, yeah, you can go take a piss test at such and such in Kilgore. And I went and took the piss test, and I was hired out on a drilling rig. And on a drilling rig, when I let them hands go, guess what didn't happen?
Nothing.
Nothing. You just let them fucking hands go, and if you won, you were a fucking winner, and if you lost, you might get fired for being a bitch. And that was my fucking environment, and I thrived in it. So, no, I would have had unlimited options. But
that wasn't really my point.
But
I appreciate the background. But
none of it was soft bullshit.
And that's what we're dealing with today with this generation is soft bullshit. PlayStation, TikTok watching. I'm going to be the next freaking Elon Musk.
There's an esports stadium in Arlington.
But I don't want to work
Like,
for it.
Esports, there's an esports stadium in Arlington. That wasn't an opportunity for anybody sitting here.
I was in the middle of a
I don't
fucking
even know what
cotton
that is.
field in a sleet storm.
Mm-hmm.
Remember it to this moment in time. It was sleeting. Okay, we're in the middle of a cotton field, and rigs in Texas, we don't have wind walls. Definitely not East Texas.
Right.
Maybe the Panhandle, but there's no wind walls. It's just cold as fuck, and it's sleeting. We're tripping pipe, and I'm in my worm corner. I'm throwing my tongs, and from worm corner, I can see the company man's trailer. And I could see him. He's fucking laid up. He's watching TV. I'm throwing my tongs, pulling my slips. I'm fucking covered in dope. It's sleeting on me. My dad's on the brake handle. He's got a whole fucking career in the oil field. He's on the brake handle. And we're fucking doing it. And my uncle was like, why are you looking down there? And I said, what the fuck's that guy doing? He goes, making $750 a day to watch TV. Quit staring at him. And I was like, what? $750 a day and he's in there watching fucking TV? I'm 18 years old and I'm throwing these fucking tongs in the sleet. My dad's 112. He's on the brake handle. So I asked my uncle, I was like, why the fuck don't y'all do that? And he goes, oh, no, can't nobody do that. You know, you got to know what you're doing to do that. I was like, okay, cool. So I asked my dad. He's like, oh, I could do that. I was like, why don't you? And he's like, well, I just don't. I was like, okay, well, that's weird. Later on, I figured it out, though. It was weed. The reason why my dad never was a company man until he was older, until he was, in his 60s, was because he smoked weed. He smoked weed and he couldn't pass the drug test. It was an easier, smaller hustle for him to have me pee in a cup for him whenever the fucking safety guy would show up, you know what I mean? And continue to work in that job. It was a safer proposition than it would have been if he'd have been in that company man's trailer by himself with nobody to pee for him. You know what I mean? On the rig, you had a crew, and there would be at least one clean guy that could pee for all the people that couldn't pass the drug test. And I was like, what an amazing thing to hold you back. And then I talked to Jacob about it. I told Jacob, I was like, there's a guy out there that makes $750 a day. And he's like, why don't you do that? That sounds way better than what you're doing. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I will do that. And at 26 years old, that's what the fuck I was doing. But at that point in time, it was $1,100 a day. And when I got laid off, I was making $1,900 a day. $1,900 a day, getting paid 17 days a month to fucking run an entire drilling operation. One of the easiest jobs I ever had as far as like scheduling and SIM ops and everything. The bad days were the days where Mother Nature was kicking your ass because you found something down there that, wanted to take all your mud or give it all back. And those days sucked because, Mother Nature, drilling a fucking, 20,000 foot deep hole in the ground is a real hairy business sometimes when you find the unexpected.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, at the end of the day, there's generationally, I mean, there's people that are your age that are far better off now than they were when they were a kid. But I mean, your guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on with them, man, but they've got to wake up.
They're not any worse.
Huh?
They're not any worse.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I mean, they were saying the same thing about millennials, which is Corey's generation, like 20 years ago.
I don't think they're any worse. I work with enough of them to know that if with guidance, they can do anything.
Yeah, I think it's all that's what I think's not there.
But what I'm telling you is like the reason why DJ is DJ, right, is because we don't manage DJ. We don't manage DJ very well.
Who's DJ?
DJ is our first high school kid.
Okay.
Like so, and DJ's. I mean, it takes.
So is it a management problem?
No, I mean managing DJs. managing DJ. We're hard on DJ.
Okay.
We have expectations for DJ. We put DJ with better men, and he can do anything. I mean, he can really do anything. But there's a certain point, like when I worked on a drilling rig, there was just a certain point where I had to make a decision that this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. And since it's what I'm going to do the rest of my life, I need to buy in and take it serious. And as soon as I did that,
that's the key word.
As soon as I did that,
that's the key word.
I shot up and got promoted. But whenever I'm still looking for the next opportunity or looking for not something easier, but it's just like I don't want to be a roughneck the rest of my life, right? There's no whatever. Two, you know what? I'm going to make $12 million doing this, and I'm going to retire, and I'm going to get to see the world, and I'm going to get plenty of time off of my family, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's that mentality shift to this is really good. This is a really good profession. Now, there's countless other reasons why it's not a great profession. Number one being that when I got laid off, we had 2,000 rigs running in the United States. I bet if we look right now, there's 700. So there's less than 50% of the workforce working that was working in late 2014 versus working today in 2022. It's tied to a basic need, though. They'll never quit drilling for oil. So if you got that skill set, you'll always have a job. But I do think that if you're making that active income, whether any blue-collar job, any white-collar job, if you're making that active income, you've got to park it into cash-flowing real estate. I'm not a believer in AT&T stock. I don't run AT&T. I don't have any control over AT&T. AT&T could get wiped out by Elon Musk tomorrow with Starlink. It's a defeatable technology.
Yeah, I don't think
DirecTV is going to drag it into the gutter of shit because people are never going to watch. Once the boomers are gone, DirecTV's gone too. So
everything's got an app now. Like you can pick and choose exactly what you want.
That's right.
Even DirecTV's got an app.
But I don't believe in AT&T because I think that Starlink will take it out. I think that AT&T sitting back has the resources and capital to. I think their Blockbuster and Netflix is going to fucking cut their head off. You know what I mean? And I believe that wholeheartedly because I believe that once
they're the next Blockbuster, they're headed out of business.
What are their core businesses?
Network is the main thing.
Their network is the main thing. Starlink will wipe it out. As soon as Starlink has enough bandwidth, it's wiping it out because I cannot get service in New Mexico where I want service. Starlink, I will not have that problem. As soon as I can connect my iPhone to the clouds, to Starlink, whatever that takes, every other technology is gone because I don't need that network. Get what I mean? I just don't need it. Like it's in the atmosphere. It's everywhere I want to be. It's any country I want to be in.
It's already getting to that point. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
So
it's just a number of how many satellites they can get up there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know when that's going to happen. I just know AT&T is a defeatable technology. Housing is not.
True.
You tell me when humans aren't going to want dry, warm, cool shelter.
Well, that's in the history of never.
Oh yeah. Now there might be less people. Could be. Are there going to be less Americans? Probably not. But America might be a defeatable technology. Who knows? I don't know. I just know that I believe in cash flow and real estate, dividend paying stocks. I think all of that technology gets replaced.
What's the longest empire?
I don't know, but here's in the spirit of what we got. Do you know what? Do you know how many companies that went through the Great Depression? Corporations that went through the Great Depression that are still in business today?
0.
No, there's some.
Okay, I don't know.
Probably the biggest one being Browning, I think, gun company.
Okay,
but a handful. Do you know which business was in business during the Great Recession, Great Depression that you wouldn't expect to be in business during the Great? And that is still a company today, but isn't on the stock market anymore. Radio Shack.
Is it still up and running?
I mean, Ty Lopez owns it and tweets from it all the time, and it's hilarious tweets. He bought the brand. It's not publicly traded, but did you think it would have been in business during the Great Depression?
No.
It was.
No. I don't think it's still in business now.
It's not, but, I mean.
I wonder how they split that off from Tandy, because Tandy's still running too, right?
Hey, my guy.
How did they split that off from Tandy Corporation? Because it's still operational.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do
Tandy
just
on
want to say
radio
you're
show.
really good at holding that microphone.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, there's a handful of businesses that were in business 100 years ago that are in business today. You know what was in business 100 years ago? Rent houses.
You know what's in business right now? Rent houses.
You like do you know how long Adam and Eve hung out before Adam had to get off his dead ass and fucking put a roof over her head?
Till she ate the apple.
I don't know. It
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
long
that's definitely
though.
the answer. Like,
Until she ate the apple.
well, no, she got him to eat the apple, and then they were both gone. Up until then, there was some, slippage.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how long it
Well,
was
they didn't
before.
need anything until they ate the apple.
I'm talking about how long was it before he had to put a fucking leaf over her head?
0 minutes. When the angel escorted them out of the Garden of Eden, they had to figure something out. That moment.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's been here for a while. I'm a believer in it. Real estate, that is, not the apples.
Hey, this is Jason Witherspoon, Different Generations Podcast. And if you want to know which one of my arms likes Corey a little too much, you're going to have to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell, ding it, so you can come back and learn which one I get a little touchy with.